So now that your site is prepped and you have it in the live environment, I mean, you can get to it using the Pantheon URL, but if you really want to have your own URL, which most people do, and you really want your site to be live with all the features that a live site should have, you need to choose your Pantheon plan to get started. So in this lesson, we're going to look at the plans. We're going to add a payment card and understand how that works. Then we're going to review the various plans that are available, and then we'll select a plan for one particular site that we're getting ready to launch. So getting your site launched in Pantheon is per site. So what we need to do is from within that site's dashboard, I want to go to Settings. And then you'll notice I can't actually choose a plan on this page. I need to add a card to the site first. So if I go to the Billing tab, we'll have credit card information. Now you can add a new card right here. I already have a card that's been entered, so I can just select that. So all of the ones I had available, I could do that. So I'm just going to select the card that I've already entered and update the payment method. And once this has been done, I now have access to be able to select a plan. One thing I want to point out is you can also invite a business owner. So if you've built the site for somebody and you're handing off the ownership of the Pantheon environments to them and you want them to pay for it, you should go ahead and invite them here, and you can select which plan level you want them to purchase. You can also find this same interface on the actual plan page. So you need to understand which plan it is you're asking them to pay for. And now you can see on this page, since I have billing information available for this site, now I can actually select which plan I would like to pay for. Now on this site, it has just the basics for you to be able to select this. So it has very basic information and doesn't get into a lot of detail about the difference between the plans. So I want to review them because it's really important that you pick the right plan based on your needs. So I'm going to go to the pricing page so that we can get into a little more detail and actually review what it is that you probably need. So this is the Pantheon pricing page, and you can see we have our different levels here. And there are a couple of things I want to point out in terms of what differentiates these so that you can make the best decision. The first thing that's very, very important is the number of monthly page views. How much traffic is going to be coming to your site? You need to have some kind of way to estimate this. If you have an existing site, of course, you can just look at your current stats. Hopefully you have something like Google Analytics or some other analytics that's going to tell you how much traffic is actually coming to your site currently. And then it's just simply a matter of picking the right plan that will fit those monthly page views. Otherwise, you would need to estimate how much you think that's going to be. And you can see again, like, so the personal plan is intended for smaller sites that don't have so much traffic. Or maybe if you have like an organization's intranet that doesn't get a lot of traffic per se, you could choose the personal plan. But for up to 100,000 monthly page views, you would want professional, and so on. So that's a really important thing. So you need to have that kind of piece of information in your head before you go to select the plan. Another thing that I want to point out that you'll see that it's a difference between personal and professional is that you have this HTTPS. So you can have an SSL certificate. Now, the reason this is significant is because, well, it's best practices. It's becoming normal on the web now that all sites should have HTTPS instead of the plain HTTP. And now Google is figuring that into SEO and how they are ranking sites, whether or not it is secure or not. So if you need the security, you're going to need at least a professional plan or higher. So these are probably two of the big things. Of course, there's storage. If you have heavy storage needs, then you simply need to go by that. If you need more detail, though, you can view detailed plan comparison, which gets a little more into the nitty-gritty. And so here, again, you can see, but there's a lot more information that's included. Things like how long is your backup retained and things like that. So you can review this stuff, but you want to make sure that you're picking the right site. And again, the monthly page views is at the top of the list for an important reason. It's an important stat for you to know about your site. So once you've decided what it is that you want, which level is going to make sense for you, then you need to go ahead and actually select that plan in the site. So let's go back to that and do that. So for this particular site, I'm going to select Pro because I want to have that SSL. That's really important. And this site potentially could have quite a fair amount of traffic, and I want to make sure we can handle that. But honestly, the SSL is probably one of the big important things for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and select Pro and then actually buy the plan. And that's it. I now have my plan chosen and paid for, and that lets me get set up to be able to finish the configuration for actually launching the site. So to summarize, we got our site ready to launch by making sure we had our payment plan in place. Now, we needed to review the payment plans because you need to have a few key stats or ideas in your head before you go to select that so that you choose the right one. And then you can't select your payment plan until you have a billing method. So there's 2 different tabs there in the settings for your site. So just make sure you go to billing and set up your billing information first. Then you can go and pick the plan that you want to get ready to launch your site.